And when the heck is movie night? Hello, it's Israel. Shalom, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. So you already know we're back with Love Island USA episode 28. Let's get straight into it. So we just left off this crazy mail challenge. And to be honest, I feel like Huda. Like, even walking over there, you see how the girls was looking like she's being dramatic. But even Huda said the next day, I would feel alone too. Even though she went over there and sat on the couch with the girls too. Yes, she was at the end, which to me she had all right to be. It's like the girls still didn't even acknowledge her, but Amaya at the end, which I agree, I wouldn't want to talk either because I feel like I can't trust y'all. But as far as like Olandria and Shelly, like they wasn't talking to Huda at all. But speaking of Shelly and Olandria and Huda, I'm happy that they both, Olandria and Shelly, had that conversation with Huda because to me it was just being dragged out. To be honest, like I was rooting for like Huda and Olandria to have a conversation. I was happy they did. But then after 2 days, I was like, really, I would care if Shelly talked to, and her and Huda talked again at all. Because Shelly was dragging it out after 2 days. In the whole Chris situation when you're paired up with Ace. But what y'all thoughts on that? When they first start even trying to like have this little disagreement. And I'm like, is the girls about to break up at the end? Okay, then how do y'all feel about Zach? I honestly feel like Jaden. Even when Zach was over there talking to Amaya and she's like, I can tell by his hand movements, like basically what he's saying. And it's like, he didn't allow Amaya to finish talking before he started chiming in and even telling her, I didn't want to kiss you. And like she said, that's just rude and that's disrespectful. I like how she walked off and was like, you're an odd individual, because everyone keep on trying to make it like Amaya is crazy, which I like how she's like, in all actually, it seems like y'all are on this trip. Amaya and Brian, well, yeah, they both is still there. Yeah, I had to think for a second. I'm like, is Brian even still here? So how do y'all feel about that? Especially because Brian did want to get to know Jaden. Y'all seen in who he stood behind in the end, but now that Amaya like went to go talk to Brian, and then her and Zach is over, do y'all see something with Amaya and Brian? I see more of like I don't know, because they both come from Hispanic backgrounds, that is like they familiar with each other, but I don't know if it'll actually work. But what's y'all thoughts on that? Pepe and Grayson. Like, I feel for my girl Grayson. Even with Huda being the one that actually said the comment, but not owning up to it. And she did tell Chris at nighttime, but she still didn't even tell Grayson. And now Grayson is left. So Grayson ain't gonna see that Huda is the one that said it until she's out the villa and watch the episode. Even Amaya was like, whoever didn't say that is. But I don't think, not everybody actually said their names. Just like you didn't have to sign a card if you don't want to. But how do y'all feel about Huda, the one saying that? Because I don't think it was too bad of a comment. Like, yeah, he even said himself to the boys that he was feeling Hannah more than he was feeling Grayson. But I do get how she was like, I felt alone then, and him to just break it off the next day. I think Pepe is real, because to me, just like with how he could have easily chose Adrena when Adrena was trying to talk to him, or even just make it work with Grayson. But he chose not to drag her along. But like I said before, if he only sees basically eyes for Hannah and Hannah being gone, it is like, what are you still doing here? But it is what it is. He's probably still trying to win the money. At the end of the day, it's still a game. But I do feel bad that Grayson, like right after she basically got dumped by Pepe, now she's being dumped from the island. Like she was even like, I just got here, so it kind of sucks. Speaking of the challenge, y'all, when they even called Elon, I'm like, where was Elon last night? Because I could have swore I didn't see him around the fire pit. Or most of the new people or people from Casamore really didn't have no like cards in the mail for them. But I feel like I didn't hear him. I did see him caressing Amaya. But that's about it. It's just like, Elon, what is you still doing here, okay? To me, to be honest, he probably should have been up there for one of the boys going home. Maybe instead of TJ going home, because TJ do have a connection with Iris, so why was TJ voted? But it is what it is. One thing I'm going to say about America, we was being childish, just like we was when we chose Iris to couple up with Jeremiah so we could see who to crash out. Because every time that Taylor was picked last and Clark was picked last, we knew exactly what we was doing. Which is crazy to me because I thought that Clark would be in one of the vulnerable girls, but she wasn't. So it's like, what's up with that? Okay, what's going on? I get why TJ was there, which let's get into it. How do I feel about the challenge period? I know to me we was just being childish, even putting Taylor and Clark last, because it's like we don't mess with them. But do y'all agree with America's decisions? And when it comes to the stand up behind, I do kind of like when Love Island does this because it makes it a little intense, like who's gonna stand behind who. And like we've seen Olandria stood behind Austin, which is crazy that none of the boys did at all. But like when he got voted out, they like, oh, he was a big ball of energy and the caffeine to our coffee. But now one person stood behind Austin. So we really see like who the group is when it's with Ace, Taylor, and Nick. And I was kind of surprised that Pepe is still behind Taylor too, because I honestly think he was gonna stand behind TJ, and I think TJ felt the same. I'm happy that Huda at least stood behind Adrena, and then all the girls start falling in line because Adrena was like one of the last people to have anyone stand behind her. But how do y'all honestly feel about all the Islanders going home and about Sierra being the last one to choose? I done seen this stuff on TikTok, so I honestly even thought that we was gonna wake up and it was gonna be like the Ulysses situation, and she was just not going to be on tonight's episode, or her and Nick just left or whatever since we're at the end. But I guess since we're at the end, production probably acting like they're not seeing what's going on. But I don't like how she was basically the last one to make the final decision. Because I definitely think she was going to go with the girls. But of course, you want to be a follower and follow Nick. I get that's your guy, but like Shelly, all the girls didn't have to vote where their guys would vote Nick. So how do y'all feel about Taylor? Because honestly, I wanted to see if Taylor went home, was Clark going to go home with them? And I get why Iris and TJ is just like, I mean, they're a strong couple, but I don't know. Do y'all think Iris should have went home with TJ or what? I will be curious to see if Taylor was the one that was voted off, was Clark going to go home with them. Like I say, how do y'all feel about the girls going home? At least Jaden and Austin get to go home together if they really do have a connection. So we'll see what happens on the outside with those Islanders. But how many episodes do y'all think we got left? And when the heck is movie night? Comment down below what y'all think about tonight's episode. Make sure you guys like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you know every time I post a brand new video. Stay blessed, my loves.